Okay, here we go. So today we're going to talk about one variable linear inequalities. Similar to yesterday when we did the linear equations, now we're just going to add inequalities, which is the greater than or less than, okay? Greater than, this is less than or equal to, this is greater than, and this is less than or equal to, okay? So anyways, instead of just a regular equal sign, this is an inequality, okay? So on our first example, you are going to what? You're going to still want to get your x's on one side and your whole numbers on the other side. So we're going to add our 2 to both sides, okay? And now these cancel and you're left with 3x is less than or equal to 5x minus 1, okay? Now then you're going to subtract your 5x to the other side, and you're going to get negative 2x is less than or equal to negative 1, because these cancel. All right? So now we need to divide by negative 2 on both sides, okay, to get that x. So these cancel, and now we're left with x, but since we divided by a negative, we flip our sign. Okay, the inequality reverses. So now you're going to have x is greater than or equal instead of less than or equal to 1/2. Okay, so now if we were going to graph that, we put our 0 and our 1/2. Okay, and x is greater than or equal to, so that means it's a closed dot at 1/2, and it's greater than, meaning going to the right, greater than. Okay? All right, so now let's do a little bit harder one where we go to number 3, okay? Our first step here, just like we did yesterday, is we're going to distribute, okay? So you're going to have 16x minus 8 is greater than 11x minus 17, okay? So now we need to move these over, so let's just add our 8 over here. And this will become what? Negative 9. So you have 11x minus 9. You're left with 16x is greater than 11x. Okay. So now we need to subtract our 11x. Okay, now these cancel. And you're left with what? 5x is greater than negative 9. Now you're going to divide by 5 on both sides. And you get x is equal to negative 9/5. Greater than. Still used to writing equals. Your sign stays the same. We didn't divide or multiply by a negative, so our sign doesn't flip. So this is our answer. It doesn't reduce any further. Okay, 5 is a prime number, and it doesn't go into 9 equally. So we cannot reduce that anymore. So now you're going to have a 0 on your graph. And we'll put negative 9/5 over here. And x is greater than, but it's not equal to. So we have an open circle, and it's greater than, so it's going to go this way. Okay? All right, did you get those two? All right, so now we're going to flip the paper over, and we're going to talk about conjunction and disjunction. Okay? Conjunction is an and statement. All right? And disjunction is an or statement. Do you see how it has or? It has an equation or another equation, where a conjunction did not have that. It has an equation with an equality sign, an equation with an equality sign, and then an equation. Okay, so it's combined. Conjunction, these are all combined, whereas disjunction, these are separated with or. Okay, that's what you have. That's how you can remember it. Okay, so let's look at the conjunction, how to solve the conjunction. So we're trying to get x. We need to figure out what x is equal to, okay? So to do that, we need to subtract 3, and you're going to do it from both sides. Since you have 2 inequality signs here, you need to do it to the left side and the right side, okay? On the other side of both of those signs, okay? So now this cancels out, and you're going to have negative 5 minus 3, which is negative 8, is less than 2x is less than 12. Okay, and now to get this equal to x, we're going to divide by 2. And we're going to do it on both sides. So now those cancel, and you're going to have negative 4 is less than x is less than 6. All right, so that's the answer. And now we just need to graph it. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our 0, and we'll put negative 4, and we'll put, what do we got over here, 6. Okay. Now what's it saying? It's saying x is greater than negative 4, so it's an open sign. It's going to go this way towards, it's greater than, and it's saying x is less than 6. So it's open, and it's less than 6. So they're going to go together like this, and they're going to combine. So your graph is going to be an open circle at negative 4 and an open circle at 6, and they're going to connect to each other. Conjunction, connecting, okay, going towards each other. All right, now let's look at disjunction. Okay, so now this first side over here on the left, we need to get our x is equal to something. So let's subtract the 7 on both sides, and you get x is less than negative 3. Or, leave that or, we need to subtract the 7 over here on this side. It goes away, and you have negative x is less than negative 6. Okay, now we can't leave this as negative x. We've got to get rid of that negative sign. So to do that, you need to divide it by negative 1 on both sides. These negatives over here cancel out, and now you have x is less than negative 6 over negative 1 is positive 6. Okay? So now we're left with x is less than negative 3 or x is less than 6. Oh, excuse me, we divided, right here where we divided by this negative 1, we should have flipped this sign. So that becomes x is greater than 6. Okay? All right, so now let's graph it. We've got negative 3, we've got 6, and we got 0 in here. Okay? So now what do we want to do? We want x is less than negative 3. Okay? Open circle at negative 3, but it's less than, so it's going left. Less than. Okay? And then x is greater than 6, so we've got an open circle at 6, and it's greater than, so it's going right. Okay. So that's what your graph should look like. A disjunction means they're split, they're disjointed, meaning they're going separate ways. Okay, so when you have an or, if you have an equation or another equation, you should know that your graph should always go opposite. Okay, they don't connect. If they do, then you've done something wrong and you need to go back and check your work. All right, I'm going to do one more, and we'll do this one with the fraction, okay, for an example. All right, so what do we need to do here? Let's go ahead and add this 7 to both sides, because you have two inequality signs here, okay? So this is our primary equation in the middle, and we need to figure out, we need to get x by itself, okay? So to do that, we need to get rid of this 7. So these are going to cancel, and you're going to get 0. Negative 7 plus 7 is 0. It's less than or equal to 3/4 x is less than or equal to 3. Okay? So now, to get rid of this 3/4, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, 4/3. Okay? So you've got to do it to both sides. If you're going to do it here in the middle, you've got to do it to both sides. Okay, so now we have 4/3 times 0 is 0. It's less than or equal to. These 3's and 4's cancel out, so you're left with x in the middle is less than or equal to 3 times 4/3. Okay, well, 3 is basically 3/1, right? And these 3's cancel, so you're left with 4/1, which is 4. Okay, so we've got 0 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 4. So now let's see what that's going to look like on a graph. We've got 0 and 4 down here, and we're saying x is greater than or equal, so we got a closed dot because it's equal, and it's greater than, so it's going to be going to the right, but it's less than 4. So we're going to have a closed dot at 4, and it's going to go towards it. So they're going to combine. And we knew before we started the problem that they were going to combine, right? Because this was a combined equation, right? With two inequalities, just like the conjunction example up here. It has the two inequalities right here. It's combined. It didn't give us or, and it didn't have these split up. So we knew it was going to be a graph where they combined. All right, I think that's it for today. See the instructions for your practice problems now. Okay, thank you.